Hello. I literally spent hundreds of hours since beginning of the year watching different YouTube crypto analysts, quote unquote, and their predictions, quote unquote, their forecasts, quote unquote, and their cheerleading, basically, like their advertisement. Most of those crypto or even financial channels are literally marketing channels. They're not trading channels. They're not analysis channels. They're not. They don't do proper analysis. They're just entertainment channels. Okay, so many of those kids who have no life experience, work experience, or even proper trading experience, they just pushing you products, other things. It's okay. I mean, it's part of the deal. It's a part of the YouTube, and that's part of the business. But one thing is you should know. I'm just going to spare you of 20-minute conversation. Is that crypto is in fact in downtrend. Crypto is in fact in downtrend. However, especially this year, in 2026, at least until quarter 4. Most likely, at least until quarter 4, when we probably will hit the bottom. It's also midterm year for Bitcoin, and midterm years are usually downtrend. At least that's how it was in the last, since pretty much creation of Bitcoin. And it doesn't mean that Bitcoin will not go up and down, but overall it's a downtrend. Also, it doesn't mean that longer term, like 3 years, 4 years, Bitcoin will not reach new highs. It will most likely after quarter 4, 2026. Most likely, the trend will reverse back to uptrend, and Bitcoin will be reaching new highs. Printing new highs, like they say, in I don't know if it will happen in 2027. It's possible, but definitely in 2028, 2029. And new highs will be much higher than 100, well, significantly higher than 100K. It will, this is just cycle. You should see how it's happening. It goes down, then up, down, and up. So, for example, if you bought your Bitcoin and you're at 100K and you're now significantly underwater, and you don't want to take a loss. If you don't want to take a loss, if you can hold it for 2-3 years, then you are fine, because it will come back. It will recover. You will recover your losses, and you will eventually end up with profit. That's why long-term holding is a way to weather, these short-term cycles. If you want to risk and say, if you're a little bit underwater, you want to sell it, like let's say 10% loss, and maybe try to buy it when it goes a little lower, that's also possible, because Bitcoin will recover eventually, and will go higher than 130K. Next cycle, each cycle it goes higher and higher. You can see each cycle goes higher at least 1.5 to 2x amount of previous cycle. Okay, the highs of previous cycle. So if one cycle it went up, say up to 30K, next cycle it went up to 60K, then it went up to 90K, then it hit like 120, 130. You see the picture, right? Approximately. So it will be going higher, and next cycle, 150K is minimum. Next cycle, it may be in like a year, 2 years, or 3 years. 150K is minimum because of inflation and many other issues, and could hit 170K. But that's next time. Maybe even 200, who knows? It's possible that it can hit even 200K. So for the long-term thinking, okay, buying now, even buying now is okay. right? Despite downtrend. But that's only if you are ready to hold it for the next 3-4 years. If you're a long-term investor, or you like saving money for the future. Okay, of course you don't put all your money in Bitcoin and so on. Same thing, just for comparison. Same thing with gold. It's going higher, then it comes down, going higher, comes down. Why did it go higher now? Because China was buying a lot of gold in preparation of war, basically, and for its own manufacturing. So this serious buying drove prices up to $5,000, right? Who would think 20 years ago it would go so high? Nobody would think so. Eventually, they knew it would, but it happened. Now, gold seems to be a little bit overpriced. It will come down also. I don't know for how low and how, because I don't follow gold. But it will come down a little bit at least, and then eventually it will go up, but who knows how long. I know more about Bitcoin at this point. So gloom and doom. Yes, institutions are selling. Yes, ETFs are pulling out money. Yes, something doesn't work out. Much of the news is not the reason and cause for movements of crypto, Bitcoin price. News is just attempts to explain it, but there are some hidden structural reasons and issues and economic and financial operations with cycles which cause these price fluctuations in these cycles, right? So it's not just news that something happened somewhere. That's not how it works, actually, right? News is usually released to cover up the real reason. That's how it works. But, like I said, the point is, Bitcoin most likely will downtrend somewhat this year. I don't know how low, I'm not going to predict that. But eventually in 2-3 years, I would say 2-3 years, it will come back. And people who are now in red can recover their losses. And they can even print more money. They can do a profit. Okay, so panic selling is not a good idea unless you can rebuy it quickly at a lower price. But that's also an option. So this is just in short. One thing in investing or trading is you don't panic, because when you panic, you make emotional decisions. And be careful with all these advisors, these 19-year-old advisors doing podcast or YouTube casts from their mom's basements, okay, with fake Lamborghinis in the background and stuff. Good luck to you.